Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. I know it is a gorgeous day outside, and here you are, and this is going to be a really, really deep, interesting way to understand yourselves more. It's all about relationship, right? It's the relationship, the most important relationship is the relationship with ourselves. So we're going to dive deep here and see what can be found, what treasures we find within ourselves. So you might be here because you're looking to find a partner or energize an existing relationship. It might be that because you're looking to understand or change relationships at work or with friendships. Well, everything that I tell you today will apply across the board to any type of relationship, because we're going to go to a deeper level to understand what makes a relationship not happen and what we can do individually within ourselves to shift our experience of relationship. And so before we start, just in case, if anybody wants to share along the way, I'd like if people would agree to confidentiality. Everything that happens at SoulSearch stays at SoulSearch. So with a show of hands, if you agree to confidentiality, thank you so much. So anybody who's wanting to share can be free and safe. Awesome. So my name is Pia Darling. As you heard, I'm an empowerment coach. I work with people at a very deep level to heal old traumas, old patterns. You might have experienced in your life that the same kind of thing happens again and again, regardless of what you do, where you live, how you make different choices. I know for me that happened all the time, growing up and even into adulthood. I even at one point moved to a different country thinking, oh, I could start anew and be my own person. And within days, I found myself being who I had experienced and wasn't all that happy with. I wanted something different. Well, those old patterns that are in us that we don't even know we're holding act as magnets to pull in again and again the same type of person, the same type of experience, the same type of behaviors in people. And so we're going to dive into that as well. We're going to first talk about hand analysis. It's not divination, it's not fortune telling, but I'll talk about hand analysis in general, why it works, and then specifically about the heart line, what we can learn from the heart line. And the heart line is just one marker in your hand. That means it's like one chapter in the story of your life. So it's one piece of what makes you up. For a full hand analysis, that brings in all your everything about you. So just to keep that in mind, this is just one sliver of who you are that we'll be talking about today. And then I'll be talking about a second piece of work that changed my life called Core Awakening Journey, and how that healed very old traumas, old patterns that kept me in the same groove again and again. And suddenly finding myself, oh, life shifted, and I didn't have to do anything in those moments of those old situations showing up. I just had a different response without trying after going through this work. So I want to share that with you as well. Okay, so I'll have, and just to expand on that, I used to be terribly shy. That was my growing up. I couldn't talk to more than one person at a time. And even that made me sweat. It was awful. I couldn't get myself to engage, and I wanted to, but I kept on coming up against a glass wall over and over again. I wanted to be someone different. When I see people being the life of the party or calling out across the room to someone else, or just, being their loud, fun self, oh gosh, I wanted to be that so much. But how did I didn't know how to get from here to there. And that taught me that when we do have a response to someone being a certain way and we appreciate it or we long for it, that's probably because we have that within us. And that part is wanting to come forth. So it's an interesting thing to keep in mind as you go through your life. Okay. So the formula that I realized later after I went through my whole transformation, it's summed up in 3 words: connect, align, express. So connect was connect with myself. Connect with myself in a way that I didn't know I was missing. I had at that point in my life already a couple of decades of spiritual practice under my belt, living in an ashram, meditating hours a day. And I thought that had shifted and changed me, that I had everything that I needed, right? Huge, spiritual experiences. And then I came across this work that took me into a connection within myself where I found myself kind of face to face, belly to belly with myself right here. And I was safe in my body suddenly and on the planet. I felt like I belonged when I didn't before for half my life or so. So there's more to this self-connection that when that is found, when you find this place, oh my gosh, that's when you know, like, okay, here I am fully whole, and from here, then I can go do life and change and shift. So that's connect. The next one is align. So as you all know, since you in SoulSearch, you probably know that we are magnetic beings. We are attracting our lives to us. The law of attraction is always in effect, right? So we are constantly putting out a vibration that then calls forth everything to meet it, right? And when we are not aligned with the truth of who we are, with our strengths, with our purpose, when we're not here, we are attracting, but from a skewed kind of staticky place. So what comes forth may not be what is ours. It doesn't meet us the way we'd like to be met. That was align. And then the part 3 was then express. And express is when you have to connect and align done, then your expression, your movement out into the world and what you do is just natural and free-flowing, and without a thought, without a strategy, without coping mechanisms. You can move through life and just be yourself, and that is just the biggest gift ever. So I'll get into first hand analysis. So hand analysis is not divination, not fortune telling. Hand analysis, it's a blueprint of how you are. I'll tell you the science behind it, hand analysis. Your hand has a huge concentration of neurotransmitters, the same type of material that your brain connects to, neurotransmitters. So whatever is happening in your conscious mind, your subconscious, your unconscious, your synapses are sending out these electrical impulses as all of that is churning. These little sparks that are full of information about you are flooding through your body, looking to make contact. And so they find the neurotransmitters on your hand and make contact and tweak your skin and tweak your muscle and keep tweaking and tweaking. And this picture, it's an outpicturing, it's a blueprint of how you process. So that's the science part. The art part then is this enormous amount of knowledge base, understanding all the possible lines, how they interact, and then bringing that together into the story of who you are and understanding who you are at your core. So aligning with your type, aligning with who you truly are, is important to attract the right person or people to you. Not only does it attract people, with the people that are already existing in your life, it will attract behaviors from them that align. When we're aligned, we actually draw out an alignment in others. That's why role models can be so powerful when they are aligned and in a place where they can impact other people. It's a model. So like attracts like. So an alignment that happens here can draw in alignment out there. And the heart line is just one marker in your hand, as I said, and that's what we'll be talking about now. So the heart line is the line that begins underneath your pinky and comes across your hand. So it's coming here, and it comes out this way. It can come straight across, it can kind of curve up, it can go all the way across. It does a whole variety of things. Is everybody finding their heart line? Yeah.
Which hand are we looking for?
Well, we're going to be looking at both because they mean different things. So first of all, the heart line, the information that we get from the heart line is about how you are in relationship, what type you are, like what's your style, your communication style, the needs, your needs that need to be met, your challenges. The heart line will tell us what our kind of interactive language is. We use 4 types: the earth, air, fire, water, the elements. And what's important is that we have to understand that if we are one type interacting with another type, we may be behaving in a way that we want to show them we care, and the other type may not know how to interpret that from their language. So it's so important to understand that when people are speaking different languages, in quotes, it's not coming across what our intention, how we want to show we care. You had a question?
Yeah, so if I'm left-handed, do I look at my left hand?
No, so left and right is, left hand has to do with your relationships that are in your inner circle, the people that are closest to you. Your right hand has to do with relationships that are out in the world, your work or socially, with total strangers out there, okay? And so we'll jump into the elemental archetypes now. We'll start with Earth. And now when we talk about these archetypes, earth, air, fire, water, really get into the literal vision and feeling of each element, okay? So we'll start with Earth. So Earth, it's this round globe we're standing on. It's right underneath us. It's always there. We can count on it, right? The Earth from afar looks kind of quiet and still. But then, every so often, there's a volcano that goes off here and there, right? So translating that into an Earth person is extremely stable and reliable. They're always there when you need them. They're willing to help, and they help by doing. So they show they care by doing. And remember that when we get to the other elements, because you'll see that it's not the same. An Earth person is very reserved, can be quiet, and doesn't tap into their emotion very easily, because for an Earth person, their emotion lies really deep, and there's a lot of it there, like the bubbling cauldron at the base of a volcano. And so they will not be able to tap in that easily for fear that if you just stick a toe in, it'll erupt in their face. So it's easier to avoid, in that case, emotions. Right? Next, let's go on to air. So imagine air as, a cool breeze it just floats over a field of these plants that are very willowy. So it's smoothing them over. It feels really nice. Right? But then suddenly the air kind of takes a turn and starts whipping around, and it turns into a tornado. An air person is always looking to smooth things over. An air person wants to avoid conflict, right? By just making everything copacetic, everything's good, keeping everything kind of balanced and under control. Right? Air, then, the challenge of it can kind of turn in on itself, right? So come at itself with self-judgment, self-criticism, with over-processing and just thinking and thinking of things. Air will think about their feelings rather than feel their feelings. And so air will show that they care by being very polite and easygoing. Okay, next is fire. So fire, imagine a bonfire right here. And all the flames are crackling, and it's warm. And the fire is attracting people to come around it. And it's just exciting, and everybody's so happy. So a fire person is someone who is a very warm person, full of excitement, wanting to be the center of attention, wanting to just be there and attract more people and attract attention. A fire person wants to, be stimulated by other people as well. A fire person can get very excited, too excited, such that sometimes if they burn other people by mistake and not notice, a fire person can burn so bright that they burn themselves out, right? Yeah. And then water. So water flows. Water flows, whichever way the earth is tilting, water will flow that way. Water nourishes the plants. Water can calm down, and smooth over rocks, right? And then for a water person, they are very caring. So they will roll towards different people, whoever may need help. They're very caregiving. They want to make everybody feel good. They want to be like the mother hen that holds everybody in a comfortable place. So with water, they flow this way and that way, and then can lose their sense of self. Any vessel that you pour water into, it'll take that shape. So it loses itself in a way. So the big issue and challenge with water are boundaries, how to hold boundaries. Okay. And so it's important to remember how each of these types sees the world and interprets the world through their type. I'll give you an example, like me and my husband. I'm fire. I need attention. I love attention. And so that's a really big piece to understand, especially for women who are fiery, that we thrive on attention. And in terms of the culture, it's we're it's an old thing, taught to be modest or quiet or something. No, we thrive on attention, and it's okay, and it makes us feel good. So own it. And my husband is earth. So he's showing he cares by working hard, by doing more. And he's doing it for me, he tells me. Yeah, but I need your attention. Oh, but I'm doing this for you. Oh, but I need your attention. So luckily we understand this about each other and we joke about it, right? But it's if we weren't aware of it, it could be like it results in a split. Who knows? Because that's how easy it is to misinterpret what's being done and said. And unfortunately, it's not clear. It's not clear until you learn. You don't know what you don't know until you know it. Okay. So what I'd like to do is, if I just pass this around in case, this is a lot of information, and I'll be sending out a summary of, if you'd like to pass that around, please. If you'd like to, I will send you out a summary of what we go over here, okay? I'd like to also tell you a story about how the lines change on the hands. So when I first had my hand read, like 10 years ago or so, I was told that I was fire, but going into water, behaving like water, which actually is, I see it a lot. I see it a lot, especially in women, but in men as well, every so often, but especially with women. A fiery woman who's behaving like water, meaning being the caregiver. And I was just that. I was the caregiver. I would take care of everybody in my family and everybody else around. I was just always doing for others, doing. And like I said earlier, seeing those people, those fiery people that would get people's attention and be loud. And I just wanted to be that way, but I wasn't. And so when I was told that I am actually fire, wow, what a validation. It gave me permission to be me. And whereas in the past, I would come up against this glass wall, like I said, for some reason, and then at that point, I had done a lot of other inner work, but still, it was just a way of like, oh, this is who I am. I can be this now. I don't have to make it a problem. I am this. And it was just such a relief. And I just haven't turned back since. I totally enjoy. I wouldn't have been able to do anything like this back earlier in my life. It was impossible. And now I actually look forward to it every time. It's really fun for me. Yeah. So I'm just keeping track of the time and what I have to say because I don't want to miss telling. I have so much more to tell you. Okay, so normally around this time, I would tell stories of people that I've read for. But I'd like to actually ask you all if you'd like your story told right here. And which means I would look at your hand with my magnifying glass, look at your heart line, tell you what I see, and then you tell me how true it is and how it fits with your life. So we can see a couple. Oh, here, that was the first hand that came up. So come on up because we're on TV. Okay. Great. What's your name?
Esther.
Esther. Thanks, Esther. So let's see. So would you like to know about your inner circle or out in your life?
My inner circle.
Okay, left hand, please. Okay. So you have a water heart line. So a water heart line, as I said, has to do with someone who's a caregiver, who's the epitome of a mom, wants to care for others, wants to make others feel good, likes doing for others so that they're comfortable in their environments. Water people, like I said, have issues possibly with
I have issues.
with boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and you're quite a seeker of knowledge and of mystical things and spirituality and all kinds of the unknown, the unknowable. Yeah.
That's pretty true.
Yeah. Let's see. And I'll tell you one more thing. Yeah, so you've got what we call a Persephone line, which is Persephone from Greek mythology. She was in the underworld. Hades kidnapped her, took her to the underworld, and she was
I've been
helping.
kidnapped.
she saw all these lost souls down there, all these souls that were suffering in the underworld, and she started helping and helping and helping, and she became known as a savior of lost souls. And the marker that you have says that you have an innate gift to support others in the depths of their suffering, their emotional suffering, their deep suffering. And that people probably come up to you to tell you their story and their woes, because they're naturally attracted to you, because you have this, that just looking for support, but without even knowing, it's a very subconscious, unconscious thing.
Persephone?
Persephone, yeah.
Does
that
I'll look that up.
Sure.
I'll seek that out.
Yeah, this is the Persephone line right here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Is that true for you?
I have to say yes.
Yeah.
In some senses of the word, yes. And I kind of thought I was a water sign because I'm a Cancer. So,
Yeah.
and I have a Pisces rising, so it's like I'm double water.
Okay.
So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, thank you, Esther. Yeah, so astrology doesn't directly connect with earth, air, fire, water. But in the end, the stories kind of come out equal. But just like in astrology, that's only like one or two planets, and then there's so many more. In your hand, this is only one line that we're looking at today, plus a couple of others with you, Esther. There's more to your story. Would you like your hand read? Okay, come on in. All right, what's your name?
Peter.
Peter.
Yeah.
Peter. Okay, let's see. So Peter, you're an Earth heart line. So Earth heart line, reserved, kind of quiet, doesn't share easily, but then has a lot of deep, deep emotion going on. You like to do things to show you care. Does that sound like you? Yeah. Let's see what else I can tell you about you. Oh gosh. Well, of course, in this group, you've got a Persephone as well, which means that you have the extra boost of talent or gift to support others in the depths of their suffering, and that people probably come to you with their problems and looking for some kind of support or guidance.
So I can't.
Yeah.
I can't help them up there.
So do you find that in your life?
Some.
Yeah.
It's more about my experiences. I can help them with them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So your Persephone line's right here. See how it goes down there. And again, another seeker. Yeah. Thank you, Peter. Let's see. I'm just checking the time here. Okay, I'll do one other really quickly. Okay, yes. And then we're going to get into something else, which will be fun. Okay, and your name?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so you also are an earth person. Yeah. How does that? Oh, and this is your left hand.
Yeah.
So it's your inner circle.
Yeah, that makes sense in my inner circle.
Yeah. Because you're different in your outer circle. That's
Probably.
your other
Yeah.
hand.
Probably. I think so.
It's also an earth, but this one, see, notice how this one goes straighter. This one has a bit of a curve. So you're a social earth, which means that you have, the same thing about being reserved and the emotion that can, build up, but you have more capacity to engage socially. That it's easier for you to talk to people, to just share, even like chit chat, that kind of thing. Yeah. Does that sound?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I resonated with parts of all of them when you were talking about it. So it's interesting.
Yeah, and again, like you've got the seeker lines. Well, because we're here in SoulSearch, all the seekers are coming. Oh, and I'll just say that you've got quite a bit of creativity at your disposal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's important to do your creativity and be seen in it. Be seen doing it, being seen in displaying it, really important.
Okay.
And even though there's tomato fears associated with that.
Tomato fears.
Tomato fears. So back when there was those old theaters.
Yeah.
And when the audience didn't like something, they throw rotten fruit. So tomato fears are fear of being rejected and criticized and made wrong. But that, I'll tell you, it's just a very narrow band of existence, of experience. In your doings of getting your creativity done and then stepping out to show it, that's probably when they hit. And so just keep going. Because it's like 3 steps worth of movement to get through that, because when you're seen in it, it feeds you. It's like, wow, it's like you just want to burst like a star, because it's just, it's amazing how much that will contribute to you feeling so fulfilled.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's breaking through that kind of boundary of like being seen, allowing.
Yes, just that narrow band.
Yeah.
Yes.
Been there a long time. Yeah.
And that's normal. And just keep going with it.
Okay.
It's very normal with creative people.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Anka. All right. Well, thank you, volunteers. Okay. So I have a table here. So I'm doing mini readings, 10-minute readings. So please come by the table, and I'll be here tomorrow as well. So I would love to read everybody's hands if I could. And out there I can. Unfortunately, not right here. Okay, so now we're going to switch gears a little bit, right? That was the align portion of the formula. Now we're going into the connect portion, the core awakening journey. It's about emotional integration and spiritual awakening, how to connect deeply within yourself, and to clear, to heal, to make peace with all those pieces inside that have kept us in a place that maybe you aren't comfortable, that it's not for you. How to move out of, because it's not just about changing your mind. The mind can do so much, but there's old patterns that are set from when we're children, and even before that, when we're in our mom's womb still, that those patterns and our reaction to them get caught in our bodies in a way that it's in our nervous system. It's literally chemical within us. So how to get into that? And that's the work that I do with people. And I'd like to take you on a short experience of inner connection. Just sitting here, and it'll be like a guided imagery experience. I do want to just tell you first that in terms of relationship, I have on my website, the front page of my website, my definition of what relationship is, since this is really all about relationship today. The state of connection between 2 or more people, events, or things, including connection with oneself. Actually, especially with oneself. So this connection with ourselves is foundational to what we experience out in the world. And the less that we have a connection inside, what we're experiencing out there is not our truth. It's not there for us. Find your way to connect inside, to come from a place of sitting in a way in your heart and in your gut, and to then from there vibrate out your intention. Wow. What a difference that is than our vibration coming from what's going on in our minds. The mind is good for certain things, but not for actually understanding who we are at our core. That's an experience. It's not something to think about, it's something to be. All right, so I'd like you all just to make yourself comfortable in the chairs. I'll be asking you to close your eyes, and if you don't want to, that's fine. Just look down to the floor so that that looking down helps bring your awareness into your body. So if we're looking up or straight ahead, or we're still in our head, right? So we just want to bring our attention down to help and to get us into our body. Take a deep breath. Let it go. And let yourself now, breathing naturally, breathing what's normal, noticing your body as you breathe, following your breath. Following your breath means noticing the inhale, feeling the air in your nose, noticing how your body, your chest, or your belly rise on the inhale and relax on the exhale. Let yourself continue to breathe and notice, be aware. And as you take your next breath, on the inhale, bring the air down into your waist or hip area. On the exhale, curl your toes so you can feel yourself go down into your feet. You can press your feet on the floor, curl your toes. And as you're breathing and feeling your feet, you may experience like a sensation of going down in an elevator kind of fast. A heaviness inside. Let yourself go deeper and deeper. And now bring your awareness to your heart area. And when I say your heart, I mean your heart chakra area. And to find that, just point to yourself as you think or say me. If you point to yourself, boom, your finger will go right to your heart chakra. And let yourself feel that area with your attention, with your awareness. You can even bring your hand and put your hand over that area to help your awareness find it. Let yourself breathe into that area and expand your heart area. And as you're expanding it, with your imagination, call forth a young version of you, hopefully single-digit age. Let the young you come forth and just show up kind of right across from you. Some people are visual and can see it. Others may have a knowing or a feeling that the young version of you is there. If you're not finding it, imagine it. Imagination is real for your body. So imagine a young version of you. And sitting across from your young version, beam that young version with your heart, with your love, beam that to them. Show them that you care. This child. Show the child you your love with a smile, And as you're doing that, notice this young version of you, how they're feeling. They may feel uncomfortable because they may not have had a visit from you ever, perhaps. Just notice how they are being sitting there. And notice how they possibly change and shift as you're sending them your love, as you're smiling at them. Let yourself really hold them in a virtual embrace because they're sitting over there. Just noticing, nothing to do but notice and smile and love. And now we can let them go back to where they came from. Just let them float back to where they reside. Send them off with a smile, maybe some words of care. And as they fade back into where they came from, taking a deep breath. Take a deep breath while you're still in your heart. And give yourself a smile. And give yourself gratitude. Thank you, tell yourself, thank you. It's always a brave thing to step in deep and meet ourselves inside. It's very courageous. And gently coming back into the room with your awareness. Letting yourself move around a bit, stretch. Feel the chair you're sitting on. And let yourself be here now. And that's like a little taste of that inner connection. It's kind of a bit of how it feels to start making some baby steps to be present within yourself. Does anybody want to share?
Do you also do hypnosis?
I do, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a very, oh, you want to share? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I've like contacted different ages and versions of my younger self before, and it's just always really sweet, and I'm like impressed with how much she can give me, as well as me being able to give to her, like remind her that she's doing good and she's gonna make it through, and like, it's just really sweet. She gave me the hug.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so darling. How sweet.
Really sweet.
What you said was really important, how much she can give you as well, because it's not about just the adult giving to the child us, but that child has their own wisdom and has so much love and care, and what they can give us, what they can remind us of that we need to do and be in our life is just gold. Yeah. Any other shares? Okay. Well, I would like to share with you, I'll leave it by the door here, I guess, and I'm having a special fingerprint analysis, your soul's agenda special that I'm offering here at the fair for purchase. Your fingerprints have been decoded to understand what your soul purpose and lessons and challenges are. So by understanding what they are, then I help you understand how to work with them. Because challenges, just by the mere fact of that their challenges are hard, right? But these challenges that are in our fingerprints are actually like weights in a gym. They're designed to make us stronger. And so how to approach your challenges from the point of view of, yes, they are here for you. They work for you. So that's what this session is about. It's you purchase it here. It's $97, and I would give you a print kit that you take home. You make prints and then email them to me, and we get on a Zoom from wherever you are, and we do the session over Zoom. So I'm going to leave those over here in case you want some, or maybe I'll pass some around. You already had yours.
I already had mine.
She had hers. I'll just pass these out. And so,
Could you just say one more thing about the fingerprints, why they show that?
I'm sorry.
Could you say something about why fingerprints show, what makes them different than the lines of the hands, why they show the soul breathing?
Yeah, so fingerprints are created on your little baby body 5 months into conception. You have fingerprints when you're born, and they don't change. They don't change for your whole life. Whereas the hand can change, you know. But it's basically your plan, your soul's plan of what it wants to be and accomplish is not the right word, but because from the soul's point of view, it's about experience and about being. So, and soul agreements, yes. And then there's the soul agreements that we make when we come into this life. We choose, right, what we plan at a soul level, what we plan on experiencing, doing, what outcomes, what is it that we want to do in this life? Our soul makes these agreements beforehand, and that's what the fingerprints are. Thank you. All right, and I'm just so grateful to you all for coming today. I hope that there was some nugget that you can take with you, and just you are each and every one of you is just an amazing being that's here to experience, not to suffer, not to work hard, not to just do and accomplish and climb the ladder. And no, it's about being and experiencing, feeling, and having willpower. Making choices. There's other beings in other realms that just don't have choice, don't have willpower, don't have so many things that we have here. We can enjoy. We can enjoy here. So let's I love that for you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.